So I was asked a great follow-up question. We know that Google Forms can self-grade within Google Forms if you have something like a multiple choice or true-false question. However, if it comes to free response questions, it's a little trickier. As of right now, you have to grade on the back end using stuff in your Google Sheets. So I'm going to show you how to do that as quickly as I can. It is more complicated though. So this is actually the quiz I used with the high school staff at a training a while back, and it was just silly trivia, right? So some of these are multiple choice, but then some of them are short answer. And notice I had to specify to make sure you capitalize or that like it's a numeral because they have to type it in exactly the way you want to grade it. I can't catch little nuances like the difference between capitalized and not. So you have to be really clear with your students about what exactly you want. So this 45 people took this quiz, and one of the responses, I actually took the quiz as a student. I went in here and I actually made my name answer key. You'll see why I did that in a minute. So I typed in for name key. Another thing you might want to do if you want to email your students the results back is when you create the quiz, you might want to require that you collect their email address. If you do that, then it can use the email to send the results out. So anywho, let's go to the results of this. I'm going to go to responses and then click on my spreadsheet here. And here is my trivia quiz and all of the responses. So I have people's names and then their answers, right? Now I have graded this once before, but let me remind you how I did that. In add-ons, you have to add two add-ons. So you can do that by going to get add-ons. The first one is called Doctopus, and the second one is called Flubaroo. Flubaroo is right here front and center because a lot of teachers use it, but then you'll also want, right down below, Doctopus. That will also help. So when you have those, you can go to add-ons and you go to Flubaroo, and the first thing you have to do is it has something that says enable Flubaroo, and once you've enabled it, then you can do this. So I'm going to actually regrade the assignment to show you the steps. So I'm going to click yes. So the first step is it is going to ask you to break down the questions. Now, if you have multiple choice questions, I would not do the grading within Google Forms. I would do all your grading here in the spreadsheet. So notice I've specified that name is an identifier. We're not going to grade that. I said that each question is going to be worth 1 point, and we're doing normal grading. Now, if I had one question that was maybe like an extended free response or an essay that I wanted to grade by hand, you can also specify that you want to grade by hand. Or if there's a question that you realize like everyone missed it and maybe I didn't teach it the right way and I'm just going to like toss this one out, you can also skip grading, which is nice. But all of these are normal grading, so I'll click continue. Then it will ask me to pick which response I want to use as my answer key. So if I go down the list here, I have one, I think I did it, yep, there we go, in all caps, it says answer key. So I actually typed in the correct response or multiple choice question when I submitted my answer key. So I'll click continue. And then it's going to grade the assignment. So it is working through here. And now it creates a new sheet on my spreadsheet. And it will break this down just like that. So grading is complete. There we go. And you'll see it breaks it down by percentages. It will highlight the questions that were below a certain threshold as far as who got it. So these were all, low. I'm not sure what the threshold is. It didn't highlight a 66%, but it did highlight these. So this kind of gives me a heads up, whoa, these questions were tough. And then it gives the percentages. Now, if you use it in conjunction, if you had collected their email addresses, if you use the add-on Doctopus, that will actually help you email the results back to your students if that's something that you want to do. And that is something else I can show you later. So grading free response questions, there are some extra steps, and I will include a written tutorial that really breaks it down step by step. This is kind of the quick and dirty here, but that is how you can grade free response questions using Google Forms and Google Sheets.